Welcome back to the Fenway Focus. My name is Jason. I'm here with Derek, and this is episode 29 of the Fenway Focus. And the Red Sox have taken 2 out of 3 against the Oakland Athletics for the last time, barring any playoff magic. It will have been the last time the Boston Red Sox face off against the Oakland Athletics, which is pretty crazy to hear after years and years and years of history between these two teams. It's time. The time's come. Unfortunately, it's a dumb situation, but hey, life goes on, and you got to move on. So, I'll hand over to you, Derek. How are you doing, and how do you feel about this Boston Red Sox team in general?
Well, I can't wait to play the Sacramento A's next year. That sounds a lot of
Yeah.
fun, right? The Sacramento A's. Oh my God, what an amazing team! That sounds so great. And then the Las Vegas A's, or are they going to do the Golden Knights thing and just be Vegas and not Las Vegas? I don't know. Stupid. Besides that, though, that's besides the point. I'm feeling good about this Red Sox team. Obviously, they did lose one to Oakland.
We have breaking news.
Yeah.
Justin Slayton to the IL.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a second because there's other breaking news as well. But we'll get to it in a second. But in terms of this Red Sox team, I'm feeling good about it. Obviously, they're 10 games over 500. That's great. There is also I think they've won like 11 of their last 12 series, which is not something like that. Which or at least split 11 of their last, at least something like that. Or it might have been they've only lost one of their last. But it's been a while since the Red Sox lost a series. I think it was like the Padres series, and then you have to go back to. So they lost the series back to the Baltimore series at the end of May, because they split 4 with Detroit, they split 2 with Atlanta, they split 4 with the White Sox, and then they obviously split the 2 with Toronto and had the suspended game. So with that, they've only lost one series since May, since the end of May, and I think that's huge for this team. Because as much as we talk about you want to see the Red Sox sweep Oakland, bare minimum you got to win the series. And the second game didn't go as the Red Sox probably would have liked, but the bare minimum they won the series, right? And if you win series, you're gonna be a good team. And I think, and we got to remember, the Oakland A's are still a Major League Baseball team. We got to remember that they're not some Double-A team that they've won 35 games this year. Is it that are they good? Not by any means. They're 35-60, but they've still won 34 other games this year. So they're not complete scrubs, right? They are a Major League team, as much as it's hard for some people to believe that, right? So Red Sox got the series win. You take it and you move on into arguably the most important series of the season so far against the Royals, which we'll talk about in a bit. In terms of this Oakland series, obviously, like I said, the second game didn't go as planned. Bayo looked solid for the most part. I know the 6th inning kind of made his numbers look a lot worse, but I think you could have made the argument maybe Cora should have pulled him after 5. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, right? But Bayo looked solid for the most part, right? For the most part. Although I think he'll kind of kick himself after that 6th inning. And then Tanner Houck continued to look amazing. And then obviously, the Red Sox just JP Sears shoving it up the Red Sox butt. I mean, just typical JP Sears kind of thing.
JP Sears.
Yeah, JP Sears. Yep, that figures.
I'm a big JP Sears guy.
Yeah, John Patrick Sears.
John Patrick.
No,
I had the pleasure of going to the corner games. And they won.
Games,
so
you mean
the end games? Well, whatever, same thing. Yeah, and they won both times. So I know correlation's not causation, but I mean, there's a trend. Whenever I go, the Red Sox win.
Well, I do want to add this too real quick. JP Sears against the Red Sox, 2 career starts. He had in 10 2/3 innings. He's only given up 2 earned runs and has 12 strikeouts.
Woof.
So
woof,
yeah.
woof. But yeah, I mean, game one was crazy because Bayo gave up 2 runs in the first inning. You're like, oh no, is this the Bayo of old? He was throwing fastballs too, but he was leaving his changeups in the great part of the plate. He was just leaving them in the zone. He was leaving a lot of pitches in the zone. Then he started to figure things out in that 6th inning. Like, ugh, it sucks, but whatever. You move on from it. Bayo has to move on, but 11 runs of support. Oh god, that was a bad voice crack. 11 runs of support in the first 2 innings. Like, can't get any better than that. That's got to get Bayo's confidence up. Be like, yeah, you still got to pitch, but like, I feel great. Granted, the Red Sox shouldn't have lost by 3. That's not great. But hey, a win's a win at the end of the day. Every starter got at least 1 hit. But yeah, any other thoughts?
No, not really. Just, I mean, I think with the first game, I think obviously the lineup looked good. Um, 6 for 16 with runners in scoring position, like that's very very good. Uh, Duran is up to 25 doubles this year. We'll talk more about Masataka Yoshida probably when we get to the third game, but he had a double, went 2 for 3. He had a nice little game. Rafaela had a couple hits. Willier Abreu and Dom Smith both hitting homers. Overall, like the Red Sox offense, I mean, when everyone in your lineup gets hit, I mean, you very good game, right? Um, Zach Kelly looked good out of the bullpen. I know Wingenter in the ninth gave up 3 runs, but I mean, he got the job done. The Red Sox didn't have to bring anyone else in. Obviously, it makes the game not look as good of a win in some sense, but at the same time, I don't think the Red Sox are going to look at that and go, "Oh, we lost by 3 instead of 6 because this guy who is really organizational depth, let's be honest, gave up 3 runs in the ninth, but he still got out of the inning, and the Red Sox didn't have to use anyone else, right? So, not ideal by any means, but they still won. And I mean, if this was last year, you throw in someone, whoever it would have been last year, they give up 3 runs, they would have guys get on base, they would have had to been taken out, and yep, Kenley Jansen's gonna come out and get 1 out, right? Something stupid, right?
Yep.
And I think that the takeaway in that sense, Wingenter didn't have a great outing, but he got through the inning at least. Didn't need any help, right? And I think at least there was that. But overall, like I said, outside of that, and then Bayo, obviously the 6th inning. Outside of that, like solid game for the Red Sox. I know you look at that game. Obviously, Weiser didn't have the the greatest inning in terms of he gave up 2 hits. Well, inning and 2/3. Gave up 2 hits, a run. Also walked a guy, but Weiser's kind of middle reliever, right? Not the greatest outing from Weiser, but he's had his fair share of rougher outings this year, but he's also had some nice outings. So he's definitely ahead of those guys like Wingenter and Anderson and even Winkowski, in my opinion, when Winkowski's in the bullpen. Because Winkowski, you want him in a clean inning, right? You don't want him with guys on base.
Correct. You don't want any inherited runners.
Yeah.
You want to give him the inning. It's kind of like, oh, what's a good example? I mean, say shame me all you want, Ryan Brazier. You don't put him in with a bunch of runners on.
No,
or Sour Moore.
No,
Sour Moore is a better
Sour
example.
Moore.
Yeah.
He had like a 2-something ERA, and everyone was screaming for him to get released and DFA'd. Why? Because anytime he came on with runners on base, those runners on base were locks to score. It was bad, right? And that's the thing. It was that thing with Sour Moore. It was if they would have given him a clean inning, chances are he was getting out of it, right, unscathed. But you give him with runners, inherited runners, game over. Nope, they're scoring. Good chance they're scoring, right? And that's the thing. Not that Winkowski's necessarily gonna give it, but because he's more of a starter and whatnot. Like you're gonna ideal like Chase Anderson, right? Even though he's been pitching out of the bullpen, you're ideally going to give him a clean inning to start, right? You're not going to throw him out there with 2 guys on base, right? That's kind of the gist of it, I think, and that's kind of the big thing with that. Overall, though, really good game. who was the Oakland star? It was Joey Estes, I think it was.
Joey Estes, yeah.
Yeah, his name's Joey. Yeah, I couldn't remember what his first name was. I was like, what's his
He was
first
an
name?
opener, though. That's the other
Yeah,
thing.
no, well, opener who gave up 8 runs. So, I mean,
Opener.
Yeah, more like open up a lead. More like open up the lead for the Red Sox. But no, he had a rough outing. Red Sox really jumped on him early. Obviously, the 3 in the first and the 8 in the second. The offense didn't really do a ton after the second inning, but like they really didn't need to. So
Fair.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Second game stunk for the Red Sox. They had a lot of opportunity. Or no, they did not have a lot of opportunities. It was the opposite. I think the most notable thing was, other than Pivetta being wacky as he usually is, the fact that the Red Sox had Jamie Westbrook rounding third, and I had visions of Carlos Fabulous. Westbrook was out by a mile. Not the greatest send. However, the reasoning on that was like, okay, but like still, I know it's 1 out. I know you're desperate for offense, but like Jamie Westbrook isn't fast. So
isn't fast. I thought the send is worse when you put it in the context of the fact that Jarren Duran was on deck.
right.
I think
I understand.
It looks a lot worse there in that context, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like Phil Nevin sent Aaron Judge because he had Joey Gallo on deck. That's one thing. This is a complete other thing, too. You're right. Jarren Duran was on deck. I think he had 3 hits that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he went 3 for 5. But also, too, you also had Rob Refsnyder on deck. Duran gets out there. That's the 3rd out. Had Duran, if results stay the same, and even if Duran gets out, but now there's only 2 outs instead of it being the 3rd out, you have 2 guys up. Rob Refsnyder comes up. Refsnyder hits the homer. Instead of being a solo shot, now it's a 3-run shot. Obviously, results probably change potentially because we alter it, right? Not the same, but like,
it's a what if.
But hypothetically, right? Refsnyder hits that home run instead of being a solo shot. It's a 3-run homer, and then you look at the Red Sox there, and that's what is it after the bottom of the 5th? Now it's a 3-3 ball game, right? And then Pivetta gets through the 6th. If it's 3, and then in the 6th, actually, in the 6th, the Red Sox scored the run from the Refsnyder home. That doesn't happen anymore. But hypothetically, right, you go into the 7th 3-3. Do they keep Pivetta out there for the 7th?
I don't know.
Maybe.
What if?
It's a total what if, right?
But it's a frustrating loss given the fact that it's the A's.
But you also wouldn't go to Winkowski either, after Pivetta if it's, a closer game, because the Red Sox scored in the bottom of the 7th, and then instead of being, 4-1 and then making it 4-2, it would have been 4-3, then making it 4-4. Obviously, this is all hypothetical, right? All hypothetical.
Hypothetically, but
you can
still
see how that send being an out and not being a close out either. You can really look at that and go, ooh, that's kind of killed a potential rally, right?
Right. But yeah, that's game 2. I feel like that was just frustrating. But game 3.
Oh, well, no, before we get to game 3, we got to talk about Mason Miller.
Mason Miller.
Because no. In all seriousness, Mason Miller's got a 2.33 ERA, and I mean, Jarren Duran got a hit off of him, but like the fact that he's going out there throwing 102, 103, just bullets.
It amazes me.
Yeah, it amazes me too that it's like, oh yeah, guys are just gonna get hits off of that, like, because you also got to think too, like, guys throwing 102, 103, like, even in the big leagues, you don't see that, right? It's not like people saying, oh, you don't see, 100 in college or the minor leagues as often, right? You don't see 100, 200, 3 in the big leagues that often, and then here comes Mason Miller out the bullpen, coming in just throwing absolute bullets in there, and it's like, and got a nasty slider, right? I just say that in terms of like just what Mason Miller has done this year is very impressive. I know he had that one really rough outing. I forget who it was against.
Right, but I mean, pitchers have that,
But yeah.
especially
Oh
relief
yeah.
pitchers have those hiccups. It's not
hmm
uncommon.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
happens. Relievers aren't perfect, right?
Mason Miller
I
almost was for a little.
He almost was. He had a freaking he had like a
He had
negative
his
FIP.
first. I know his first appearance of the year. He gave up 2 runs, and then like he went like almost 2 months without giving up a run. He gave up
Right.
five total runs, 3 earned against the Rockies, and then he gave up 1 earned against the Rays at the end of May. And then he's been a little bit more hittable since then, but like as he gave it the 2 against the Angels earlier here in July, but like it's been pretty spotless for the most part, right? And he's not doing it where like he's working around a ton. Most of the time, it's like 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and like a couple strikeouts. It's kind of wacky. It's like 1, 2, 3 innings, just easy, right? And I think the other thing too is most of the games where he gives up runs, I feel like it's the games where they try and stretch him and have him go multiple innings, right?
Exactly.
Not like most of the games he goes 1 inning, he's fine. It's just, like he has a couple games where like he had the 2 run game against the Angels earlier this month in his first outing of the year against Cleveland, but you look at the majority of his really good performances. You look at like against Washington in April, right? Faces 3 batters, 3 strikeouts, 13 pitches, done, easy, right? It's outings like that, and just the 1 inning and nasty. And it's like when he's on, it's like, yeah, good luck.
Mm-hmm. It yeah, it's good. It's crazy. Is that all you got for game 2?
Yes.
Game 3. Another
All
game
right.
I was at.
Yeah.
It's 7-0 win. I feel like it was a solid all around win. Great pitching and great hitting. I know Chase
Masataka
Anderson.
Yoshida.
Yes, Yoshida with 4 RBIs. Yep,
Yes.
4 RBIs
4
and a
RBIs.
home run. Connor Wong hit an absolute moonshot. Abreu hit a home run that snuck out. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we'll put it like this, right? This was the game for the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the lineup because
Mm-hmm.
outside of David Hamilton, everyone in the lineup named that wasn't named Connor Wong, Masataka Yoshida, or Wilyer Abreu did not have a hit. No one
Yep.
else had a hit outside of David Hamilton.
Also,
Hamilton
Tyler
had,
O'Neill, golden sombrero.
yeah, well, I mean that'll happen with O'Neill occasionally, right? But we know why he's on the team. We know spark the offense with some home runs, right? Hamilton had 2 hits. He did have 2 strikeouts in his other 2 at-bats, but Wong went 2 for 3. Also had a walk. And obviously, he hit a homer in the third. Abreu was in the 7th spot. 3 for 4, couple RBIs. And he hit the homer in the 4th inning, and then Yoshida out of the 6th hole. 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Yoshida obviously going deep in the 6th inning for his 4th homer, and Yoshida's now up to 265, but since he's gotten back from injury, I think he's like near 300. He's had a very good run of things since he's come back from injury. And another case of, maybe Red Sox fans giving up on a guy too quickly, right? I know everyone looks at the contract and complains, but like, you can't doubt the fact that Masataka Yoshida, when he's healthy and when he's going, is a very good hitter. A very good hitter.
Right. In the past week, Yoshida has a 304 batting average, 7 hits, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Heating up.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And the other thing too, right? And you kind of got to take it a little bit in like, I guess to say, like his first 3 games back from injury, he's kind of struggled a little bit, and even his first like 10 games or so, but his batting average kind of hit a low of 228 on June 22nd, and then June 24th his last 14 games. The last 14 games for Yoshida, he's hitting 346 with a 404 on base and a 519 slug for a 923 OPS. He does have a 410 BABIP, so a little bit of luck maybe, but good players get good luck at times. And 18 for 52, three doubles, two homers. He's only struck out 11 times, which isn't like cuckoo, right? He's still striking out a little bit, but you also too look at the context of that, right? Uh, he's had out in that stretch of 14 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games without a strikeout, and then basically every other game then one strikeout. Right? He did have two strikeout games in there, but he's not really striking out more than once per game. Um, so I think just in general, like having that run for him, having a very successful run is fine, and and I'm okay with Yoshida striking out too. I think a lot of people, when you kind of look at his numbers in Japan, and he was only striking out like 40 times a season, and people are like, oh, this guy, like in 2021, he only struck out 26 times the entire season. In 2020, he only struck out 29 times. In 2022, he only struck out 41 times, right? I think people got a little bit like, oh, this guy's never going to strike out. It's okay if he strikes out in the big leagues, right? Last year, 140 games, he had 81 strikeouts. But obviously, the strikeouts jumped up, when he started struggling. But he also, not a ton of walks, whereas in Japan, he had 80 walks in 119 games. Last year in 140 games, he only had 34 walks, right? So I think it's a kind of balancing act. I feel like when he's on, he'll probably walk a little bit more than he did last year. Not at the numbers he did in Japan, though, right? But I think with Yoshida, if he's at his best, he very well can be a very, very good hitter. Is he going to be a middle of the order bat like he was in Japan? No, not a middle of the order bat, but whether it's a six-hole hitter, which there's nothing wrong with it being a six-hole hitter in a Red Sox lineup where you have Devers and Casas, and if you can slot Yoshida in that six-hole hypothetically, and O'Neill seemingly is slotted into the 3 spot right now, and Connor Wong probably will be slotted, or someone will be slotted into that spot, whoever it is, right in the 5 slot. That 6 spot becomes a very nice spot for Yoshida, right? So I think we kind of look at Yoshida. Obviously, we're not going to jump and say, "Oh, this is who he is." This last 14 games is the player he is, because it's not, right? But at the same time, it's nice to see him going, and I think the rest of this year, you very well could see him the rest of the year being around that 280 to 300 hitter, right? Bringing some pop at times, and I think that's very solid. Is it $18 million worth? Maybe not, right? Especially if he's DHing. But at the same time, you can live with it if he's going to give you that, especially he stays healthy the rest of the year. Obviously, the start of the year didn't go how he wanted, but like I said, I think it's a little bit too much of giving up too soon on a player just because of a couple bad months, or in this season's case, couple bad weeks and then getting injured.
Exactly. Yoshida's also streaky too, so you never know. He'll go like 4 for 4 one day, or he'll go like this is a hot stretch for him. He's seeing the ball well and he's hitting. Maybe a week from now he's going to struggle again. It's all part of the process too. He's adjusting to the major leagues too. How much time do we give him? We give him plenty of time, but I think he knows what he needs to work on. He knows the adjustments he needs to make. I think he's going to be fine. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think.
I think you will be. I mean, you gotta remember too, Seiya Suzuki didn't have the most amazing year in his first year in the big leagues. I mean, he's kind of very much solidified as a solid big league player, right? And I think Yoshida will settle in as a solid big league hitter, right? Very solid bat. Probably not middle of the order bat, but 5-6 hitter probably, depending on the lineup around him. Which there is nothing wrong with that at all, right? No, there's nothing wrong with that being a 5-6 hitter. Nothing wrong with it, right? Like I said, is it $18 million worth? Maybe not, right? Maybe not.
No.
But it's not. If Yoshida has a very, very good year, if Yoshida's at his best, right, it's not $15 million worth. But I could definitely see it being not like some outrageous overpay at all, right? I don't think it would be an outrageous overpay. This year, in his entire year so far this year, now he's only played 48 games this year, but he's got a 100 weighted runs created plus, and that kind of accounts for that really bad start he had this year, right? I think Yoshida at his best is probably can be around the 115 to 120 weighted runs created plus mark at his best. And if he's at his best, is like I said, it's $18 million worth. No, especially if he's DHing. But I don't think it's some crazy overpay. I mean, the Red Sox are paying JD Martinez how much by the end of that contract? You know what I mean? So, like I said, not is it 18 million worth? No, but it's not like he needs to be traded or anything.
Right. I mean, not now, at least. I feel does he doesn't really fit the Cora model. Ideally, he said he wants to play. He's not positional versatile. No, he's not.
I no, but like Jaron Duran's not necessarily versatile positionally, right?
You can put him all over the outfield.
No, you can put him in center field and left field. You're not putting Duran in right field.
They did.
They're not going to. They're not going to, like, they're not going to, like, and what I mean they're not going to, not that they can't put him in right field, and they could, they very well, they might, they're not going to, like, look at him as saying, oh, we could put this guy over in right field for a stretch of games, right? They're not going to do that, right? Duran, and if Rafael is playing center field, Duran's not touching center field. No one else is touching center field if Rafael is playing center field, right?
Correct.
So, in that sense, like, is Yoshida limited versatility-wise? Yes. Is he a great runner? No. But he also has very good back-to-ball skills and can work a count. And I think Cora likes that very much, right? So it's also, too, and we talk about Cora guys. So is Cora even going to be here next year as well? So there's that. But in terms of Yoshida, he's not like the Cora guy in terms of speed, but I think he fits the profile of being able to put the ball in play, situational baseball, that kind of stuff that a lot of people were talking about last year with Yoshida before the season started with. Yeah, he might not be the biggest power hitter, but he'll be able to, find the holes or put the ball in play, not strike out a ton, right? Or at least not strike out when in a situation where you need to put the ball in play, something like that. Be a situational hitter. I think that's where Yoshida very much can be a Cora guy, and very much is.
We'll see. I think it's a good time to preview.
Yeah.
Is it not? So tonight, July 12th, Cooper Criswell versus Cole Reagans. Cole Reagans is a lefty, 5-6, 3.28 ERA. Criswell 3-3, 4.15 ERA. Saturday, Cutter Crawford versus Seth Lugo. Lugo is 11-3, 2.21 ERA. Cutter is 5-7 with a 3.24 ERA. Sunday, Bayo versus Brady Singer. Brady Singer 5-5, 2.93 ERA. Bayo's 9-5 with a 5.40 ERA. Derek, what do you got?
2 out of 3. Bang.
Which ones are they going to win?
They're winning on Sunday.
Yep, I have that.
They're winning on Sunday. Brady Singer's been actually really good this year, but I feel like he could be due a little bit for a rough start. I don't know. Seth Lugo's been really good this year. Reagans has 2.
I think the Sox lose the first game.
Here's my thing.
Ryan, what do you think? Reagans is a lefty. Sox have struggled with lefties.
No, but they're not throwing out a super lefty heavy lineup though. They're not
Right, it's still a lefty.
I'm not buying into the whole lefty thing necessarily right now. Oh, great. I'm not. I really don't know. I'm trying to figure out what game. So tonight the Red Sox, Ref Snyder's hitting leadoff. They have Duran, O'Neill, Devers, Long, Romy Gonzalez, Jamie Westbrook, and Rafaela and David Hamilton.
Right. It's
so very righty heavy lineup. Yoshida is not playing. Willier is not playing, and Dom Smith is not playing. Although I would assume they get into the game. Although these guys also just got cooked by J.P. Sears. You know what? Screw it. They'll lose the first game. That JPC starts.
Yes.
I was Romy Gonzalez and Jamie Westbrook. Not that. Okay, actually, not shots at these. Romy Gonzalez and Jamie. Romy Gonzalez, I get him playing first. I get it, right? You don't want Dom Smith gets okay. With Jamie Westbrook, I mean, you could very well have Rafaela play the infield and let Yoshida DH, right? I don't see why he couldn't, or let Willier face a lefty. I don't know why you can't let Yoshida face a lefty. Yoshida's faced lefties for years in Japan, right? And he's hot. Like the guy just had a
I
3-hit
know.
game.
I know.
Like,
Why don't you have him play? He's hot. Why aren't
like
we
I
having him?
understand sitting Willier in terms of it being his first full season. Like I think it's still a little bit stupid, but like I can get it, right? With Yoshida, why are you sitting him? Like that's the guy. I don't know why you're sitting him. You have an All-Star break coming up. He can rest then.
I don't know. That's true. I get it. Exactly. There's an all-star break.
Unless O'Neal was scheduled to DH to give him a day off his feet. But like
He's hot though. I don't know.
Yoshida,
Yoshida he's coming off. He just came off the IL.
That's
but I mean, but still, he might need some days off. But
you have an All-Star break, and and also too, I don't think they should be sitting Yoshida and Abreu both together, especially after the game.
Abreu's been hot too.
Exactly, that's my point. You really shouldn't be sitting two of your hottest hitters in the same game.
Yeah, that could be a big reason why they lose tonight.
Although, as soon as a righty comes in, they're subbing everyone.
Yeah,
out.
but it's different. Starting versus coming off the bench.
I know it's different. Don't get me wrong.
But you're right. As soon as a righty comes in, they're coming in the game. Like
exactly.
Bye Jamie Westbrook. Bye Romy.
Although the Royals do have 4 lefties in their bullpen. They have Chris Bubich, Sam Long, Will Smith. Shout out. Fresh Prince of Bel. I'm joking. And then Angel Zerpa are the lefties in their bullpen. But all of their like late inning guys in terms of they have Nick Anderson, Schreiber, Chris Stratton, and James MacArthur, all righties. So late in games, you're probably not going to be seeing a lefty from the Royals.
Let's see.
Also, the Royals bullpen does not have the greatest numbers this year. I'll just say that.
They used their whole... What the heck? They used, like, their whole bullpen on Wednesday. What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, not... They like, literally used all but Nick Anderson and Chris Stratton. But I think they had an off day yesterday.
No.
Potentially.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah. That's probably why. But... I think that's also rough for the Red Sox, too, because you're getting literally the 1, 2, 3 in that Royals rotation, where it's like, you don't get Alec Marsh, for example, who has a 4.57 ERA. Even Walker has a 3.83 ERA. You're getting Reagans, and then Lugo, who's been very good, and then you get Brady Singer. Like, you're getting their 3 best guys, and the Red Sox are throwing out Cooper Criswell, who, was just in the minor leagues. They're throwing out Cutter Crawford, who's been better as of late, but and then Bayo, who's had struggles, right? This is a type of series you'd love to see Tanner Houck pitching in one of the games, right?
Yeah, but we'll see.
Or Nick Pivetta if he's on.
This is an interesting series. I really think so.
Mm-hmm.
But
very interesting, and then also too because of the roster moves, because Justin Slayton to the injured list with elbow inflammation, although minimal concern. They're expecting him to be back after the Dodgers series, which is
he didn't bounce back well, and they thought it was the best idea just to put him.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to put someone on the injured list for precautionary reasons, now's the time because you have the All-Star break, and that counts towards the days on the injured list.
Uh-huh.
So you're missing less games.
Exactly.
And then also too, obviously wingets are going down for Cooper Criswell, and Boozer was called up for Slayton. I don't think I mentioned that. So
Yeah,
There's
and
that.
Brian
And then
Mata is in the dugout or in the
Brian Mata's in the
clubhouse.
clubhouse, and he has a locker. Mata has to be on the big league roster by July 15th, which is Monday. So Brian Mata may get added soon, maybe not. We'll see. In terms of like, they're obviously adding him if he has a locker. They're obviously adding him. It's just what day do they do it, right? Do they do it during this Royal Series, or do they wait until the All Star break to add him, right? That's the big question. He has been on the major league injured list. So as far as I'm aware, he has been collecting service time. As far as I am aware,
Yeah,
so
makes
there's
sense.
no point in there. It's not. This isn't going to be a service time manipulation thing because as far as I'm aware, he's collecting service time because he's been on the major league injured list. Because the Red Sox
Yeah,
couldn't have sent him down to the minor leagues. They literally couldn't, right?
I mean
Because
they
he was
could. They
just
just have to put him on waivers,
yeah, but you're not
which
going to do
someone
that.
would absolutely pick him up.
The Nationals took Thad Ward last year in the Rule 5 and kept him as like the mop up guy in their bullpen all year. Someone would take Brian Mata. Someone would, and so that's why. If you're the
Without
Red
a
Sox,
question.
you got to get Mata in the bullpen and just see what you have. Worst case scenario, he sucks, but like you also could get the
What do you have to
Brian.
lose? What do you have to
Ex-
lose?
well, literally, you have a good Brian Mata to lose if you don't put him in the bullpen, and he goes elsewhere and has success, right? And you lose him for nothing, right? At least I'm gonna bring this up with like Ryan Fernandez in the Rule 5 draft. At least in the Rule 5 draft, you get like a little bit of cash. I think it's like 25,000. It's not much. I mean, it's not nothing, I guess. Um, and Ryan Fernandez is having good year in St. Louis. A totally different discussion. But like at least like with Mata, you waive him, someone else claims him. You literally get nothing for him. You don't even get a penny for him. You get nothing, right? And so if you're the Red Sox, you might as well put him in the bullpen and see what he has. Because this is a guy who is a highly rated pitching prospect, and has just had a ton of injury issues and whatnot. But if he's healthy and he can pitch in that bullpen, he very well could be a legitimate bullpen piece. He has the stuff. He just needs to stay healthy and command his pitches.
Yeah, I'm excited if he pitches, when he pitches.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun
I know
one.
because he had a setback, but then he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Now here we are. But
If I was the Red Sox, I would limit him to 1 inning per appearance, honestly.
I think they will. I think they have some
He
restriction
might
on
go
him.
in the Chase Anderson role, but that's my only thing. They might want to put him in the Chase Anderson role.
I think they're gonna like do okay. Let's see what we have, and if it's
That's-
like, whoa, he's pretty good, then like okay, we'll ease him into like
or maybe the Winkowski role because I think they
yeah,
could
it
send
makes more
Winkowski
sense.
down
Or the
because
Slayton role. Maybe
no,
that's a
not
stretch.
yet. No, because Slayton's now kind of firmly put himself in the back end of the bullpen. Maybe like the Slayton role at the beginning of the year-ish, but like even then they kind of knew what they had with Slayton in some sense in terms of like they were because they were high enough on him to where they knew they couldn't get him in the Rule 5 draft, so they traded someone to get him. That's the thing. They traded Ryan Ammons to the Mets because the Mets took him in the Rule 5. And I think that was probably an agreement of like, hey, can you take this guy for us and we'll trade you
Because
this
maybe
buck.
there was someone else interested before them.
Exactly.
Like, okay, we'll give you this piece if you just take him in the Rule 5 draft. Boom.
Yeah, and then just trade him to us. And
That's probably what happened.
No, I think that's probably exactly what happened. Because if someone else is going to take him, Red Sox really wanted him. Red Sox. I think the Red Sox do have a couple connections in that Mets front office, so there's
makes sense, and it worked out at the end of the day. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, and then
anything else?
Of other note, futures game on Sunday. Marcelo Meyer and Kyle Teal both in the futures game.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Nope, it's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
It's always been on Sunday. I don't know why it wouldn't be on Sunday.
Why does MLB.com say it's on Saturday?
Why would it be on Saturday? I don't ever remember being on Saturday before.
Fact check. Fact check.
The futures game is on Saturday. What?
Haha.
No. I'm gonna have a big old gripe with this now. This is insane.
Alrighty, take it to Twitter. Bro, that's wild.
And they also have a skills challenge, which Roman Anthony will be a part of. which will air on tape delay at 10 a.m. on Sunday on MLB Network, as well as MLB.tv, MLB.com, and the MLB app. What?
Ha.
That's I cannot remember it ever being on a Saturday. That's so
I'm
weird.
watching the Futures game. I'm excited.
Except it's 7 innings, which is total BS. You know why
And
it's
there
7
can be
innings?
ties too.
You know why it's 7 innings?
Why?
That me and we have Jake on coming on for an episode on the draft. But it's 7 innings because they have to do the celebrity softball game.
I'm not saying.
It's
What
literally
the-
why it's 7 innings, because they play the celebrity softball game after.
Bro, what? That's so dumb, bro.
Yeah, I swear to God. Swear to God. That's why it's 7
Because you have to
innings.
play some stupid celebrity softball game. Boo-hoo.
My point. Deion Sanders in the Celebrity All-Star game. 1, former MLB player. 2, the guy can barely walk. What are we doing? How's he supposed to play?
Oh my god, it's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Exactly.
I'm taking it to Twitter. Alrighty.
Oh no, we had a whole thing on the Pesca Report on episode came out on Tuesday. So yeah, we've had a lot of stuff with the Pesca Report going on, but that was one of our that was our argument on the episode, that the celebrity softball game is exceedingly dumb. That was my take. Hunter likes it because it's stupid, and I'm like, okay, I get it. It's just, I mean, I still watch it, but it's still stupid. I don't need to see JoJo Siwa in it again. I don't think she's in it, thankfully. But those were some bad years when she was like their biggest pull.
So Mata's here to throw a bullpen. They wanted to see him in person to see. He's scheduled to throw 2 to 3 innings for Worcester on Sunday.
And then they'll add him on Monday.
Then they'll, assuming everything goes well, they'll add him.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep, there's that. Makes sense. Also, makes a lot of sense. And he'll be with the team during the All-Star break, probably working on a couple things as well. So, yeah.
Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
Alrighty. For Derek and everybody else, screw the celebrity softball game. And we'll see you in the next episode.